I missed you guys so much. I'm back and I'm excited, and I love and appreciate each and every one of my 53 subscribers. You guys are amazing. Thank you to those of you that have been there since the beginning. I can't thank you enough. So what I have for you today is, surprise, surprise, Mac's Jeremy Scott collab. And I'm so excited because this packaging is so detailed. I mean, just looking at the picture, I have not seen the actual, I have not held it in my hand yet, but, because I still have it in the box, but it looks so detailed based on what the packaging is showing me on the outside. Now, when we look at the box, it says that there are 29 different eyeshadows, but then below it, it says dual band AM FM cassette. So anybody that knows me knows that I'm a really, really big music fan. So when I first looked at this, I was like, so they have 29 different eyeshadows, they have a cassette player, they have these little speakers built in, they have radio, they have everything, supposedly, right? Well, I then looked at the total net weight, and it said 0.51 ounces. There's not a radio that I've ever owned, or a boombox that I've ever owned, that weighs that amount. So by looking at the reality of it, it is the detail on the outside that gives you the look of a boombox. It is not, in fact, it does not in fact include a AM/FM radio, a cassette player, for those of you that even know what that is, a super bass kicker, dual tweeter system. It's really just the packaging on the outside and then the 29 different eyeshadows on the inside. So for those that have looked at the pictures on the internet, you guys know kind of what it looks like on the inside. So from the pictures that I saw, like this one here, I noticed that it almost looks like an equalizer, right? So the way that they have the pan shaped is very much like an equalizer, which I think is really, really cool and reminiscent of the time. So let's go ahead and, let me stop talking and just open this thing up, right? So I've opened it up. This is the packaging. It is very 3D almost. It kind of has that nice texture, that 3D texture on it. And it's, I mean, it's nice. Like, this packaging is so crazy good. You can see the detail that went into this collab between Mac and Jeremy Scott. And if you don't know who Jeremy Scott is, Google. Because Jeremy Scott is an amazing artist in his own right. And I'm glad that he had the opportunity to work with Mac. So let me shut up, let me dig in, and when we open it up, it is from where the handle is at the top. We're gonna pop that open. And when we look at it, first thing that you see is a humongous mirror. The mirror is good enough to do a lot of different things with. When we look at the pan, it's very reminiscent of the pictures that you guys have seen online. And there's every color from orange to browns to coppers to purples to blues to yellows to this crazy color in there called a remixology, which is, if I can point to it, it is that one right underneath the yellow. It's a little yellow-green. Not necessarily a fan, but you know what? I haven't used it yet, so that could change. I can change my mind, you guys. So I'm looking at all these colors, and they look like so many fun colors. I love the way that it was set up. The pans are a little bit small. I'm not gonna knock Mac for that. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and remove the protector that's here, and it has all of the amazing names on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that right to the side. And let me see, what colors do I wanna dig into? But I kinda wanna dig into it first with the color called Happy Song, okay? And that is this color right here. It's almost like a nice, it almost goes a little peach, but it's a very, very, very light red. I'm gonna go into the bright yellow. It's called Memories of Space. And that one has a little bit of fallout, and I'm digging into it maybe a little bit too heavily, but there is a little bit of fallout with that one. So I'm going back in there, yeah. And I don't really experience that much with MAC, but it did have a little bit of fallout on there. I really want to give this really light color because that transition shade is so very light. That happy song color that we went in with before, I kind of just want to go ahead and dig into something else. So I've gone in with happy song, I've gone in with memories of space. Let's go ahead and dig into something else crazy. Let's go in with some of this orange. Now this really bright orange shade is called Disco Therapy. This one also has a little bit of fallout. And then right on top of that color, which was Disco Therapy, I'm going in with Walking Heartbeat. So this was Disco Therapy. As you can see, a lot of that orange fell out, a lot of the yellow fell out. I'm going into Walking Heartbeats, which is this red. It is also a matte shade, but I don't see quite as much fallout on that one. Now, because I feel like some of the Memories of Space, which is the one that we had a little, as you can see, fallout, because I felt like some of that really didn't really wear well. God, I can't even speak today. Because I feel like the Memories of Space, that yellow color, which has, it's going into my other pans. No! Jeez. Okay, so that color, it didn't wear well. It's falling to my other pans. Not crazy about that color. So I don't, so far, all of the bright colors that I've used, because I've used a lot of bright colors, I've gone from so first, what I did is I went from Happy Song, I went to Memories of Space from the inner corner out, I then went back in with some orange from the out in, and then on top of this one, I went in with Walking Heartbeats. Now, because I saw that the yellow really wasn't carrying, I went back into the inner crease and then I kind of blended that back out. So with all of the majority bright colors so far, packaging is amazing in and of itself, so I dig it for that reason right now. And I'm using MAC's brushes as well. Let me go back in now with, I really just kind of want to place a little more of that yellow. That yellow is kind of what's kind of making it or breaking it for me right now, and it's not for the whole palette, but that color based on the look that I already have going on, I really kind of want to place a little bit more on that inner corner. So, what I want to go into next, this shade here, it almost seems like a burgundy tone. It's called Vacation Speed Zone. So that's this one here, okay? And I almost want to see how it looks on that outer crease, see if it blends well. From what it looks like in the pan, it does look like a burgundy shade, but we'll see. So I'm digging into it. Ooh, it is super dark. And I'm gonna go ahead and just tap that a little bit, and it still stayed on the brush, that's good. I'm gonna go from this outer corner here. Let me start here. Woo, that fallout. I don't like the fact that it just got onto my face. It's giving me a little bit of plum fantasy. So the color is nice because it did create a little bit of dimension, but as I applied it, and this is after I tapped it, it just kind of fell right onto my cheek. So I might have some color going on my cheek from Vacation Speed Zone, but at the end we're gonna go ahead and clean that up and I'm gonna give you a final look. So the pans for me, because I'm kind of trying to dig into them, all of the fallout falls right next to it because it's just not, there's not enough space in between the pans. That's one thing that I'm not crazy about. Let's now dig into this red. And the red that I'm digging into is called Walking Heartbeats. That's that really nice bright red. And I'm gonna dig into it. That's the one that didn't really have much fallout. So although I'm not a crazy fan about swatching, because swatching doesn't really give you the way it's going to look or the consistency or the pattern or the texture of how it's going to feel on your eye, it doesn't. It just tells you, hey, does this color look good? It looks good as a swatch, but keep in mind, even though I'm going to be swatching a couple of these, because I cannot put 29 eyeshadows on my eye. Can't do it, sorry. But I am gonna go ahead and swatch all of these at the very end if I have not already used it on my face. And so you guys can kind of see what that color looks like on skin. Period. And I'm gonna dip into, since we've been playing with a lot of bright colors, right? I'm gonna go ahead and dip right into Club New Wave Mix, and that is this bright purple right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and dig right into that. It does seem like there's a little bit of fallout, but it's staying in the pan. I really like the smoothness of Club New Wave Mix, and that's the purple that we just applied. I like the smoothness of it. Texture feels very nice. It's just, I feel like I have to kind of go in a little bit heavy for it to really show. That's my only comment on it. Raven Eyed is a nice black. All right, lovies, so I've played around with a couple of these. I'm gonna go ahead and do some swatches right now. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do some mascara, liner, all of that, blush, blah. And yeah, you'll go ahead and see my final look. So let's start kind of from left to right. And I'm gonna go ahead and skip over the colors that I already have on my face, as you guys have already seen them, kind of in the process, right? And I'm back, and this is my final look using the Mac and Jeremy Scott collab. Now, I want to go over a few things that I liked and a few that I just did not like at all. So, starting with the packaging. Packaging is to die for, because this, I mean, when I first read it alone, like I told you, when I first read it, I was like, man, they got a radio in there too? No. I should have checked myself. But overall, the packaging is amazing. The fact that they could fit 29 different eyeshadows inside this palette, amazing. Now, as you can see, after one use, it seemed to get a little messy. So what I mean by that is that there were a lot of pigments that seemed to kind of go into the other pans, especially the ones that are sitting next to the light ones that are sitting next to the dark ones. You would see a lot of the dark pigment go into the light eyeshadows. It was a little frustrating for me. That one thing alone, because of how small the pans were and how closely compact they were together. It just, that part I didn't like. I love this mirror. This mirror is everything in my life. That's an amazing mirror, amazing size. That's what I want to start seeing in a lot of different eyeshadow palettes. Now, the other thing other than the fallout is that the blending. So some of the colors just didn't blend as well as some of the others. I saw a lot of pearlescent tones in here that I did not play with, that I do want to play with. And this is just a palette that overall I would use in tandem with another palette. So I would use this palette and another palette together. I don't think that I would use this palette by itself. So my final thoughts are that it's okay. It is not a palette that I love. It's not a palette that I hate. There's a lot of pluses, but there's also a lot of minuses. So click subscribe below. Follow me on Snapchat, you guys, so that you guys can see all of my shenanigans there. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.